Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am reviewing a wig and I'm going to get straight into it. I don't want to faff around and talk too much, I just want to get straight into it. So I was approached by this company called Babala hair. Babala, I don't really know how to say it, but yeah. They approached me by email and asked if I wanted to try out one of their wigs and review it on my YouTube channel. So I received it today and I thought I'd review it straight away. So this is the box that it came in, which is really nice. I thought it looked really professional and I wasn't sure what to expect because going onto their website I saw that there were photos used from like Instagrammers and stuff. So for example, there was one wig that had a picture of Rose Shock and I went on her Instagram and found that photo to see if she'd written the wig was from this brand, and it actually said that the wig was from somewhere else. So I was a bit like, okay, they don't really have pictures of their own products. So I was a little bit apprehensive whether I would even receive something. I thought like maybe this is a bit of a scam, I don't know. But at the end of the day I still received the product and it is what I ordered. Okay, I'm going to open this box up and I'll show you what's inside. Obviously I've already opened this, I've already worn the wig and actually cut the lace and everything. But I will talk about my first impressions as well. So you get 2 wig caps with this, which I thought was really cool. I don't really wear these wig caps very often because I find that they're really tight and you have to kind of give them a good stretch out before you can wear these without getting a headache. Then it also comes with a little brush. This is like a mini version of the Don't Love Hair one, so it's basically the same, it's just miniature. And then we have our wig, which does come in a plastic bag, but I have obviously taken it out. So this is the wig that I went for. I wanted something kind of pink with a root drag. That's kind of what I'm into at the moment. As you can see, my hair is pink again, so I'm a bit pink mad right now. So my first impression when I got this out of the box this morning was it looks pretty synthetic-y. Obviously it is a synthetic wig, but you do find that some wigs look a little bit more realistic than others. This is a little bit more on the synthetic side, but there are ways of making synthetic hair look a little bit more realistic. I think there's one way you can use like dry shampoo or something, and it just kind of mattifies the shine a little bit and makes it look a little bit more realistic. This cap construction is slightly different to what I'm used to with wigs. Oh, it actually does have clips on the sides. See, it didn't feel like there were clips when I was like this, but there are. They've got clips all around the cap. So you can clip the sides in and the top, and then the cap underneath is kind of got like a layer of the mesh, so that it's a bit less itchy than other wigs, which I think is pretty cool. Because some wigs, the wefts are just kind of open, so you can feel each weft and it can get a bit itchy and uncomfortable. But that's pretty cool. Yeah. Again, it has like the normal adjustable clips, so you can tighten it to your head. I do find wigs are often a little bit big for me just because I have a tiny little pea head, because I do find that when I tighten it up like this, I end up getting a lot of bagginess here. But I can deal with it with this wig. In terms of the lace, I'm going to try and zoom in and let you see this close up. Oh my god, it's my face. Right, so let me just hold this here and see if it will focus. Okay, so this is what the kind of lace looks like. It's a little bit on the rougher side of lace fronts that I've had. Some of them are really kind of soft and silky, and some of them are a little bit more textured. So this is a little bit more of a textured one, but I'm not mad at it. It doesn't look that bad. It just looks like you've got quite noticeable hair follicles, as you can see. Little bit thin on the top here, you can kind of see the lace through it a tiny bit, but it's nothing that I can't work with. The lace I trimmed off earlier on. It did have about a good 3 or 4 inches of lace, which is quite handy. It's a lot to play with, so it means that you can cut it to your hairline. The only thing that I'm a little bit sad it didn't have is a widow's peak. But that's just a personal preference. I really like it when it kind of points down into the hairline here instead of being like straight across. So I could have probably cut that into it, but I didn't want to cut too far into the lace. I obviously cut out some little semicircles here so that it could like hook over my ear. The hair itself is, like I said, quite synthetic-y, but it is very smooth. The density is really quite nice. I'd say this is like a medium density. It's not super thin, but it's also not crazy heavy. One of the more comfortable wigs I've worn. And the length is a little bit longer than I expected. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a bob, and it kind of goes down to here. I'm not mad at that. You know, if you have a longer wig, it's normally handy because over time they do start to get a little bit scraggly on the ends, so I tend to cut them anyway. So this is probably going to end up being cut shorter over some time. For now, I'm just going to enjoy it as it is. But I'm going to put this wig on and show you it in its glory. But what I'm going to do is pop on my wig cap. I am going to use the wig cap that was provided. So I just scrape it right back, tuck these little bits over my ears. So if I was actually wearing this wig all day, I would kind of glue down the sides of my hair so that it's in place and it's not sticking out too much, and I would also apply some of the Got to Be glued across my hairline, just the edge of the wig cap, because then we can glue the lace down to it. I'm not going to do that for this video just because it is the end of the day now, so I won't be wearing this all day. I'll be taking it off afterwards. So now that I'm aware it's got clips, you can actually clip them in place. And then clip the top one. I think the top one is a bit too far back, so I can't really tuck it underneath this wig cap, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. But the clips can be handy if you have more of a like netted kind of wig cap. Repositioning, making sure it fits over my ears nicely. So obviously if we were gluing this down, we would glue it in front of our ears there. But at the moment it's lifting, but it's fine when the hair's down, it won't show. Now I'm just going to brush through it. So when I first tried it on this morning, it had quite a central parting, and I did try to flip the parting over to this side, and I actually put a wet flannel on my head and used an iron literally on my head. And my mum was like, can you imagine if we go to A&E and we have to explain how this happened? Like, I was just ironing my head, you know, no big deal. Yeah, I tried to kind of steam it down. It did stay in place a little bit, but I think it needed a little bit more steam. And I was too scared to keep ironing my head. So I kind of put it back, but what I'm doing at the moment is just brushing it straight back. So there's kind of no parting. And it just kind of naturally falls where it wants. So then it looks a little bit more natural. I really like how this looks on. I feel like it looks a lot better on than it does off. I can slightly feel the wig cap bunched up underneath, but it's not so much that it's noticeable, so I don't really mind as long as you can't see that it's like bumpy. It still looks nice and smooth. Let me try and spin around. So you can't see any of the lumps or bumps that are underneath here, so that's okay. I mean, there's quite a big one here, but unless you actually touch it, you wouldn't know. I think makeup plays a big part in making a wig look good, because I tried it on this morning when I had no makeup on, and that can make a big difference. I feel like once I've got my eyebrows done, I've got my lashes on, and like contoured around my hairline so that the lace blends in a bit better. It all plays a big part in making a wig look convincing. I think the main reason I really like this wig is because it's straight, and I always like straight wigs. I've had curly wigs before and I just can't seem to get on with them. I can't keep the maintenance up. They just get so tangled and they're just really hard to look after. Whereas I feel this is going to be a lot easier to look after. The colour is just what I'd hoped for. I love the fade from the black to kind of like a silvery into the baby pink. It's definitely the colour that I wanted. I'm really happy with that, and yeah, I think I'm gonna rock this tomorrow. So it says it's high temperature resistant silk, which I guess means you can use heat products on it. Obviously, I try to be careful with synthetic hair because I have been told, but with other wigs before, that you can use up to a certain heat, and I've done as it says and it's absolutely singed it. So I've tried to just go with the steaming method, so that's why I had a flannel on my head and using the steam from my iron, because I just thought it was a safer way of kind of straightening and flattening the parting. I did use straighteners a little bit just on the ends because it had a little bit of a wave in it when it arrived, I think that was just because of it being curled up in a ball. Yes, I love it with a hat. I love hats. I love how they look on me. Yes. So that's it basically. I didn't really know what else I should cover. It doesn't really have much information online about like how you can heat style it and stuff like that, so I am just going to leave mine alone and just keep it straight and not faff around with it too much, and probably cut it at some point a little bit shorter just to my taste. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this, I hope it was helpful, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!